Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Where are we? If we are clear about this, then the destination can be reached easily. For example, either we are in the worldly objects or we are entangled in our sense organs, or we are caught up in our mind, or we are getting lost in our total past experiences. These are the four stages where we get lost in life. So, spiritual practice is that we go beyond these four and come to what we are than what we think we are. So, let us understand the basics. Normally, when we are moving in this world, our attention goes on the objects of the world. See? Like when we entered this house, we are looking at the picture, oh, Arangetram, oh, nice, lost away. Then, after some time, we withdraw from there. Then go to other objects. So, either we are in one object or jumping like a monkey from one to another object. Now the second thing. Now when I am talking to you, my words are also objects for you. But what happens? We drop that object. That means we don't listen. Because the mind has gone somewhere else. So, from the objects, we have come to the sense organs. And from the sense organs, we have come to the mind. So the mind is thinking. For all practical purposes, we are sitting as if we are listening, but in fact we are not listening. So we have left objects, come to sense organs. Left the sense organs, come to the mind. After we come to the mind, there also we don't remain. Then we go somewhere else. What is that? I have been doing meditation for so many years. Now what is there in meditation? Let me see what now new is there. So, our total past experiences, that is the burden that we carry. And then we want to repeat a particular type of meditation which we think was really very good. We enjoyed meditation. So in short, instead of remaining in meditation, we start doing bhoga, enjoyment of meditation. Therefore, we come across statements like, I enjoyed the meditation. It was solid, it was very good. Is it a papadam or vade? Enjoyed. Because it is a bhoga. See? So, if our basics are clear, this will not happen. Now what are the basics? Basics are, who is doing meditation? If the husband is doing meditation, wife will be the Ishtadevata. If the father is doing meditation, the son is the Ishtadevata. See? So when we become somebody and sit for meditation, we are lost in the relative thinking. and there is no possibility that we can merge in the absolute. Therefore, these basics should be clear. Now, the first thing we should be very distinctly clear. There are only two things to be achieved as a spiritual practice. One thing is freedom from body identification, and second is freedom from the notion that we are a soul in a particular body. Two things we have to draw. So unless the first thing is achieved, second thing is not possible. So the first thing is that I cannot be the body. First we have to be convinced. So the conviction is by observing our own experiences. So what is our experience? The body is not created by me, and the body doesn't listen to me. We don't have the experience of birth. We don't have the experience of growth. We don't have the experience of death. But this all belongs to body. So how can I be the body? Theoretically convinced. Now that theoretical conviction is called as jnanam, or the knowledge. Now this has to become our experience. If knowledge doesn't get converted into experience, then the knowledge is a burden. And that burden is called as erudition and scholarship. And if the knowledge gets converted into experience, it is called as wisdom. Wisdom is light. It is not a burden. And because of this, wise people are never frustrated, depressed, dejected, worried, exhausted in life. Because they have converted the knowledge into experience. So meditation is an attempt on our part to convert this information into conviction. And then we start living that conviction to further mature it into experience. If this introduction is clear, now let us come to our personality. Normally we are told, and that is what we also think, that we are inside the body. The world is outside the body. And therefore all the time thinking I am inside the body, bound by the body. But if we think properly, we come to know that body is contained in the pranamaya kosha. Prana is life. There is no life in the body, but the body is in the life. Because body has got a particular size and shape. Pranamaya kosha extends beyond the body. So the pranamaya kosha is the container and the body is the contents. Then these two are the contents and container is the mind. That which is not included in the mind doesn't exist for us. Like some good news happens, but we don't know about it, so we don't celebrate. Because we don't know. Don't know means what? It is not included in our mind. So also, this mind contains the prana and the body. So this is the condition. Now further analysis. Earlier days we used to have the snail mail. Take the stamp, first of all taste it, and then fix it on the envelope. And after fixing it, you want to post it, and after some time when you want to go for posting, you just want to check again. Oh, it's the wrong envelope and the wrong stamp is fixed. Now if we peel it off, that and the stamp will be torn and your $5 have gone. So what do we do? So we take out the contents of the envelope, put it in the water, Jala Samadhi. Then the glue which was holding the stamp and the envelope together, that gets loosened, dissolved, and we can peel off without tearing it. This example is clear. Same way, mind and the body, they are held together by the glue of prana, breathing. And without loosening this bond between the body and the mind, when we forcibly do, like many people, particularly those who are practicing Kundalini Yoga, they are forcibly doing it. See? They are forcibly doing things, what happens? Take this example. This is the thread. I don't know whether you can see or not. Now the thread is not cut from the side when it is attached to the cloth. And yet I forcibly pull it. So when I pull it forcibly, the cloth where it is attached will start getting wrinkled. Is it not? Exactly the same way. When the mind is not separated from the body and we start forcibly by the force of prana, that take the breath in and hold it in the Mooladhara. Again do it, again do it. So the whole prana Shakti is getting activated and it is not yet separated from the body. And therefore you start getting all kinds of experiences inside the body. And then those experiences are either tickling somewhere, either in the heart or in the umbilicus or lower portion, or there is some tickling in the throat or the bhrumadhya in between the eyebrows. And that is what we start imagining, that this is meditation is happening. And if we don't correct it, then headache. People get lost in tremendous headache. See, how I know this? There was one young man, he came to meet me with his friend, and the friend was coming regularly for satsang. So he came and told me, Swami, he is my friend, and he has some problem, that he was doing meditation. I said, is he dumb or can he talk? He can talk. Let him talk. You don't tell. So he started telling. He says, Swamiji, my Kundalini is awakened. All my chakras are open. But then, in meanwhile, my guru died. So now I don't know what to do next. Therefore, I have come to you. I said, run away, don't stand in front of me. He said, why? I said, you are a guru killer. You already killed one guru. Now you want to kill me or what? I won't entertain you. Please remember, any question erupts in your mind, you are going away from yourself. Any question. When you are reached the house where we are, there won't be question. Which route I should take, which turn I should take, no question. Because we have reached. See? But then what happens? In this, something we are creating artificially, and then headache and all kinds of frustration. No, that is not the way. Therefore, we have to distinctly, clearly separate ourselves, that is the mind, from the body. And yesterday we have seen The separation of the body and the mind we achieved through the asana practice by proper understanding. Now the same thing is also achieved through pranayama. Pranayama is done only to loosen the hold of the mind on the body. And for that some basics must be clear. First, we keep on eating whole day. And then whatever we eat, what happens to it? First, part of the digested food is assimilated and used for building the body tissues. The part of the digested food is used for providing energy to the body and the mind. And the unwanted, thrown away metabolic waste is thrown out of our body. Now what is thrown out of our body, being matter, is of three types. One, solids; second, liquids; third, gaseous. Solids are thrown through the fecal material. Liquids are thrown to the urination. But the gaseous toxins, which are the byproduct of metabolism, they are not thrown out of the body. They keep on accumulating in our blood. And as a result, the blood becomes saturated, and when there is no more capacity for the blood to accumulate or accept these metabolic toxins, gaseous, they are deposited in the joints because there is a space. And therefore when you crack your joint, nothing is broken. But when we crack our joint, we feel relieved, is it not? Why relief? Because there all those toxins were accumulating and creating a tension. And because they are toxins, they eat the heads of the bone, they go on destroying the cartilage disc if it is there, and those toxins also are responsible for dehydrating the synovial fluid, which is a lubricant. And therefore in the old age, those who have not practiced this, they get pain in all the joints. See, therefore it is called in Ayurveda as Sandhivat. Sandhi means a joint, Vat means the air. So all these toxins keep on accumulating and they make us miserable. Now not only this, these toxins, when they are saturated in our blood, they are responsible for stimulating the thoughts in the mind. So although we don't want to think, yet the thoughts keep on coming. Who is making us think? These toxins. Like you are sitting, whichever place you are. Suppose there is small little stone or pebble or something below you. So initially, because of your biological padding, you will not feel. But after sitting for a long time, then that small little thing will start hurting. Then every now and then we do that. I don't know what it is. Again we sit like that. Because it is disturbing. Exactly the same way, these metabolic toxins, they act as a stimulus for the thought formation. And then you can't control them. If this data is clear, then the third thing. So what has to be done? We have to remove these metabolic toxins from our body. The solids and liquids are removed. You must have experienced yourself, when there is a constipation, we don't feel comfortable. When you have got high bladder pressure and you have to sit for a long time, you can't feel comfortable. Similarly, if there is metabolic toxins pressure on the mind, your mind can't remain quiet. Therefore, pranayam is done to remove these metabolic toxins which are in the form of the gases in our blood. Now how it's done? It is done only by breathing, because the blood goes through the lungs, throws away the toxins and exchanges the oxygen, and this is how the process of blood purification happens. And when this is done systematically for a long period of time, not in one day, 1 hour, 2 hours, but every day a little bit. Like we go twice at least to the toilets and urination in a day, in the same manner, at least twice we must spend time on doing pranayama, morning and evening. And when this is done, these accumulated toxins will start getting out of the system. Now, after this portion is over, next thing. When this pranayama is done, the hold of the mind on the body becomes weak. And we are able to drop the body from the mind, and the individual aspect of the mind merges with the total mind. Now this we have to understand. We all have one common mind. Throughout the universe, mind is only one. Like space is one, air is one, fire is one, water is one, earth is one. Exactly, the mind is one. And because of that mind, the life's activities continue. That body where mind is not manifesting, that body falls dead. So, this mind is a common aspect for all, is one mind. Now this one mind takes the shape of a particular body. That becomes the individual mind. And when the mind has included a particular body, an individuality is born, and thereafter all the thinking process is in relation to that body. As much we think about our children, we don't think about somebody else's children. As much we think about our country, we don't think about any other country. Because reference point is there. See? So this reference point till such time is maintained, you cannot avoid thinking. And therefore when we are in deep sleep, no reference point, because the mind has already dropped the body. And therefore you are at peace. Therefore, pranayam is an effort on the part of the seeker to slowly separate the hold of the mind on the body. It is only for this purpose pranayam is practiced. All other things are byproducts. Like we keep the cow for milk. The cow dung comes free. It doesn't require any special thing. No, I am keeping the cow for cow dung. No, we keep for the milk. Cow dung comes free. Similarly, pranayam is done for separating the mind from the body and attain body disidentification. Then the purpose of pranayam is over. Now, after the mind has dropped that particular body, then mind has no reason to think. Think about what? Like when we look at the sky, summer sky, not a single cloud. There is nothing to look at because eyes cannot see the sky. So naturally the vision becomes steady. See, now the last most important point, then we'll plunge. Wherever there is a movement, there is samsara. When there is no movement, you are Paramatma. Unknowingly, everybody knows. When we sit for meditation, what is our understanding? Now sit quiet, don't move. Meaning what? If you are moving, it is not meditation. Don't think. Because if you think, it is a movement of the mind. So don't think. Close your eyes, don't see anything. Because if eyes are open, it will start jumping from one object to another object. Therefore, freedom from movement will happen only if the mind is separated from the body, identification. Then there is no reference point for the mind to think, and the mind will dissolve in consciousness. This is the process of meditation. Therefore, as you are all sitting, like yesterday, we start from there. Now, how to do pranayama? Now, you are all great yogis, so you know very well. But just to summarize, we breathe 15 times per minute, normal healthy breathing. And we don't breathe deep, only superficial. Like when we clean our house, superficial. Below the furniture, if you see, you can collect so much of dust and material, you can build another house. See? Similarly, when we breathe, we are breathing superficially. And as a result, those toxins remain accumulated like the dust below the furniture. I was in Kuala Lumpur, staying with one of my friends, like any one of you. And very peculiar thing I saw in their house. Everything, all furniture, all the almiras, all these racks, everything, they had wheels. I said, come on, how come you have got wheels everywhere? So they told me, Swamiji, our maid servant, when she comes twice a week to our house, and she has conditions. If you don't do this condition, she will not work. What condition? All your furniture, everything should have wheels. So we have to get it done. Then, when she comes, she will move the whole almirah and then wipe out, clean, neat with the disinfectant wipe. As much clean it is outside, that much clean it is below. She is very fussy about it. No, cleanliness should be complete. Even these wall hangings, she will remove them. From the back side, she will take the white cloth and all this. So, when we are breathing superficially, all the toxins remain accumulated in our body. So like that maid servant, we have to do deep breathing and slow breathing. When this is done, what happens? That all the toxins are thrown out of the body when we deeply breathe out, and then we take deep in breathing. So more and more oxygen is replacing the toxins. And if this is done for 15-20 times, every time you sit for meditation, 2-3 times a day, slowly those toxins will be removed. And to that extent, mind and the body will remain separated. And to that extent, there will be minimum thought formations because there is no stimulus. And that is why we are told that when you are sitting for meditation, you must do pranayam, and the purpose of the pranayam is only separating the mind from the body. The world is created the moment we are identified with the body. When the mind is not identified with the body, the world doesn't exist. And when the same thing happens while we are awake, so what will be the status? We will be functioning through the body, but we won't function as the body. Living in that state is living in meditation. Now the last important point. Waking we don't do. We are in the waking experience and then we do the things in life. Dreaming we don't do. Dreaming happens. And in that dream we do something or the other. Similarly, we have to live in meditation and then do whatever you have to do. But normally what is understanding? We do meditation. Meditation is never done. We have to start living in meditation. See? So how we start living in waking? By identification with the body. How we start living in the dream? Identification with the modifications of the mind. How we start deep sleep? By disidentification from the body. In the same manner, we have to start living in meditation means we are disidentified from the body without going to sleep. And then conduct yourself. That experience is called as Jivan Mukti, liberated while alive. If these things are clear, then we sit properly, whichever way you want. See that there are no tensions anywhere on the body. First, psychological adjustments. We are cheerful and happy. Our Guru Maharaj and the Lord is in our heart. The Lord protects us from within. Guru guides us from within. We don't have to ask anybody. Then at this moment we are nobody because we have dropped our total past. This is the first time we are sitting. If we hold on, I have been doing meditation for 30 years, then you are somebody. Somebody cannot keep quiet. So we are nobody. Then we don't plan what we will do after meditation. So we have closed the future. Now we are in the utter present. Present without the past and the future is presence. And in the presence there is no past, present or future tenses. Presence is consciousness. Present, past, future is mind. Now, for doing pranayam, first we breathe out fully by squeezing our diaphragm inside upward. Breathe out fully. The lungs are squeezed out. Then we breathe in slowly. First we fill in the stomach, then the chest, as much as we can, but slowly, not hurriedly. And then we breathe out again from the chest first and then from the stomach by squeezing the diaphragm inside upward. Normally we breathe 15 times a minute. We can reduce this frequency from 15 to as low as 2 or 3 by practice. In this process, all the metabolic toxins will be removed from the body. So we start. So you can do this way, deep breathing. When you are doing this, in between I'll give you some information and instructions. Let's start. Please continue without counting 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Our rhythm of breathing in and out should have equal time. So the time taken for breathing out and time taken for breathing in should be approximately equal. When this is done for some time, our breathing becomes balanced. Nasabhyantaracharinam. The breathing happens through both the nostrils, not only one. And in due time, we breathe maximum 4-5 times a minute. Now stop this deep breathing and breathe normally. You will observe the breathing is now very slow and very shallow. The body is firm at the base, vertically steady, and the weight of the body has increased on the base, because mind has to a great extent dropped the body from the contents. Now the mind has merged in the total mind. Merging of the individual mind in total mind is coming to the principle of life. Or in other words, from the mind we have come to Chetana. Chetana is principle of life. We are in this experience of Chetana in deep sleep. Because the individual mind has dropped body identification. Life is there, but there is nobody. And the same experience happens without going to sleep. The body has totally disappeared from the mind. Therefore, the concept of inside and outside is redundant. This experience is like the space. Space doesn't have inside outside. It is the house which has inside outside. Thoughts are movement in consciousness. Moving consciousness is mind. Mind without the thoughts and the movement is consciousness. let there be no pressure developed anywhere inside the body. If pressure is developing inside, then our body identification is intact. The very purpose is defeated. Therefore, we play what it is like being the space, being other than the body. So no theme, no topic will be able to create any thoughts. We remain extremely indifferent to all the thoughts if they arrive, like the space is indifferent to the contents. More than long sittings, frequent sittings with this understanding of body separation from the mind are more important than one long sitting for 2-3 hours. Take deep breath once or twice. Move your toes and fingers and observe how the mind includes the body, and then the sense that I am inside the body, the world is outside has become real, and the samsara begins. Offer everything at the feet of the Lord. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.